have got lots of really great locally made cheese. I could go on forever about everything we've got in our tool belt, but I will add just one more thing to the list. We've got this energy plan, and it's an exhaustively researched, ambitious, well-considered, deeply inclusive document. And by its very nature, by the historical context in which it exists, it doesn't go nearly far enough. It can't. Because what we really need is to stop emitting greenhouse gases completely right now, today. Which means we need to stop using fossil fuels completely right now, today. We need to move people around. We need to feed, house, clothe, employ, educate, heal, entertain, and sustain everyone we know, and increase our community's resilience to all manner of environmental, economic, political, and social disruptions without burning another drop of oil or whiff of gas or scrap of coal ever. And we all know that's impossible. But I will go out on a limb here, and I will say that it's still got to be our North Star, our guiding principle, our green golden rule. It's got to be the rigorously, impossibly high goal towards which we strive, because anything short of that will get us nowhere. And this is where all of you come back into the story. Because as remarkable as this administration is, as fortunate as we are to have all of these amazing leaders, and as important as the work that you do is, Vermont still exists in the real world. A world with powerful forces which operate in direct opposition to what we're trying to accomplish, and which work vigorously to undermine our campaign for wholeness and for survival. Which means your job is to say to your leaders, we've got your back. We'll hold strong. We'll help push you forward. But you also have to say to your leaders, we've got your feet, and we'll hold them to the fire. We are going to remind you, and keep reminding you, of the urgency of these times, the intensity of our aspirations, and the uncompromising rigor of our goals. We're going to hold you to your highest ideals because nothing less will do. Of course, we also have to say that to each other, with great love and unswerving compassion. It is so easy to slip, to falter, to slack, to forget, to despair, and to tire. It's so easy to burn out and get overwhelmed by the might and the money of the opposition and the momentum of the way things are. It's easy to get cowed by those times when you start telling the hard truth about climate change and peak oil and why our current models of everything cannot continue, and have people get kind of wiggy on you, even if they're fundamentally on your side. It's kind of like a conversation we had in Charlotte recently about getting solar trackers in our town, and you'd hear some people say, well, of course I support solar power. I just don't want to have to look at those hideous things. Or when I gave a talk about climate and peak oil to the Women Business Owners Network, and one gal said very honestly, I don't want to hear about this. It's too scary. Of course it's scary. It scares the crap out of me. I heard McKibben say once that the one time he cried about climate change was in Copenhagen during COP15, and I thought he was either nuts or lying, because I cry about this stuff all the time. But we simply have to, as my southern friend Haley says, pull on our big girl panties and deal. Or big boy boxers for you guys. And part of how we deal, part of how we get brave and bold and audacious and feisty and draw those hard lines in the sand is by turning to each other. We need each other the way good neighbors need each other, the way family needs each other. We need to be people who can borrow stuff from each other. Stuff like ideas and strength and creativity and determination and emotional resilience. I have a borrowing relationship like that with my friend Barbarina. Barbarina is a remarkable climate activist who has the preternatural ability to read all the scary books and articles and watch all the scary documentaries, absorb and retain all of that information, and then get up and say, okay, what's next? I can't do that. So Barbarina screens a lot of information for me. She gives me the salient details. And then I write funny, pithy, pointed remarks about it all and give it back to her, and she uses that language when she goes to lobby Congress. We call it the symbiosis of the petite world-saving Amazons. Well, you can tell Deb she can be one of those. So, to wrap things up, I want to leave you with a few sprinkles of borrowable ideas and a few bits of green-hearted encouragement. Talk to your elected officials at all levels of government, and talk to them repeatedly. I know there can be reticence to get involved in electoral politics, but A, this is no time to be dainty. B, Vermont is one of those few places where we have top-to-bottom access. And C, we can make a difference just by showing up. Show up more than once, and you can make a big difference. A few calls or a couple of meetings can change a vote or radically alter a piece of legislation. And given the energy plan, there's going to be significant legislation coming along, which will need all the attention and bolstering that it can get. There will probably be some legislative feet which need holding to the fire. But if you need help with that or more information, Ms. Joey Miller at VNRC is your point gal. She will let you know what's going on. She'll show you the ropes about how to get involved, and she might even pick the tie you wear to the State House. Collaborate with your town's transition initiative, if you've got one, or read up on the transition model and methodology if you don't. Take a weekend training for a transition workshop. The transition model is all about building partnerships, strengthening relationships, and harnessing the inherent wisdom, skills, and creativity of your community as we move into a post-carbon world. And it's incredibly inspiring. Now, if you're feeling super climate feisty, Vermont now has the country's first statewide 350 organization, and they are going to be putting a lot of time and attention into the energy plan. Now, a major linchpin of their approach is making sure that the solutions we come up with, clean energy and transportation, energy-efficient buildings, green jobs, healthy forests, abundant local food, are solutions for all Vermonters. So if you're concerned about the social justice component of this work, they are a great group to talk to. Also, have fun. Sing, dance, play. Tell fabulous visionary stories about our dramatically different yet positively hopeful future. Like I said, we are talking major, gigantic, colossal, unbelievably huge, whole systems transformation here. And that takes innovation, joy, hope, celebration, moxie, and a whole heap of daring do. It takes holding each other when times get hard and celebrating all the little victories which come your way. Live and work from your great green heart. Focus on the things you care most deeply about. After all, anger, fear, frustration, they're kind of like lust. They are great short-term fuels for getting you into a relationship, or a cause, or a movement, but it's love and devotion which keeps you there. Over the years, I've asked a lot of people who are deep sustainability practitioners how we do all this. How do we keep looking into the void? How do we keep fighting the fight? How do we keep from getting apocalyptic in our thinking? And the two answers which keep coming up are build your social networks, and they mean real-world friends, not Facebook and Twitter.